The association has a two-pronged approach to advocacy. There's federal advocacy, which affects all of our credit unions across all 4 states, as well as there's local advocacy, which is going to be on a state-by-state basis. Let me take the local advocacy first. We've put in place a model where each of the states and the credit unions in those states make their decisions about what's important to them from an advocacy point of view. There's an advocacy committee in each state, and that's made up of any credit union CEO or senior manager who wishes to attend and wishes to be heard in terms of helping us to form the agenda. Once the agenda is formed, then the full support of the association is put behind that agenda. But the key is that the control remains local and in the hands of the credit unions, who are the ones who really know what needs to be done on a state-by-state basis. This has enabled us to be successful across 4 states at the same time with one management team. On the federal level, it's a totally different game. On the federal level, pretty much anything that we're doing, whether it be regulatory advocacy with NCUA, with the CFPB, or whether it be up on the Hill working with our lawmakers, we're talking pretty much an agenda that encompasses all of our credit unions across all 4 states, and really beyond the 4 states. It really crosses the entire credit union industry. So it's a little bit easier to work there with a centralized agenda, and it's an agenda that Paul Gentile, as CEO, is extremely involved with helping to put together and also helping to execute on. I think it's fair to say that they've been thrilled with the way that they've been in control of their own agenda. They've been able to meet, they've been able to talk about the topics of mutual interest, and they've been able to create the agenda that goes forward. Well, I think it's extremely important. We are the only association that advocates on the local level for credit unions. When you stop and think about it, credit unions have options with regard to federal advocacy. We have a partner in CUNA with regard to federal advocacy, and there are obviously other associations out there that are trying to do similar work. On a local level, the state league, or in our case the association, is really the only game in town. And so if credit unions are going to have a voice, whether it's with our local regulator or whether it's in our local state house, the only place we're going to get that voice is through the association. So it's vital to the industry. So that's an effort that I've been passionate about for a long time. Unfortunately, it's an effort that credit unions talk a lot about, and yet credit unions have not done anywhere near as much as we should have done in terms of banding together and doing things as a group. At the strategic planning session, our board this year established a high priority to start to move on this direction from the association's level, with the thought being that a push is needed to get the credit unions moving in this regard. It's also really, at this point, a matter of trying to figure out what the beginning steps of it are going to be. So there are a whole group of different things that credit unions could do as a team or as a collaborative approach. And it's really just a matter of picking which ones are going to work best in a startup type of capacity, and then which ones need to be moved a little bit further down the line. But I really believe that especially for small to mid-sized credit unions, working together in some kind of a collaborative effort is the only way we're going to survive. I think the model right now is in a great place. So when we put the model together, we put it together with 3 states, as everybody knows, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. We had 5 directors from Massachusetts, 2 from New Hampshire, and 2 from Rhode Island. The model worked perfectly to incorporate the folks from Delaware, and we added 2 representatives from the state of Delaware, moving our total from 9 to 11. I think the states of Delaware, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island feel adequately represented. I know the state of Massachusetts feels adequately represented. I do think that if there are opportunities for us to expand going forward, the model may have to be changed slightly in order to accommodate additional states without creating a board that's unduly large. But at this point, things are going well. So I think there are 2 ways that credit unions can be involved in advocacy. And let me go back a step and say that I think it's vital that the credit unions are involved in advocacy. The first way, and I've been very vocal about this for the past year and a half, is financial. Advocacy, especially in the political arena, costs money. There are some people who don't like to hear that, but the reality is that it costs money. There's a pay-to-play environment, and whether we like it, whether we think it's the right thing to do or not, it's the way the system works, and if you're going to be in the system, you've got to work that way. So we do need credit union people to step up with their own personal dollars. These are dollars the association can't put up. These are dollars that the credit unions can't put up. These donations have to come from individual leaders in the credit union industry. And I've been very vocal about asking people to step up and play a bigger role in that regard. The second is with your time, with your effort, with your picking up the phone or writing an email, especially to the lawmakers. Lawmakers don't really want to hear from Paul Gentile. They don't really view Paul as being part of their constituency. They want to hear from the credit union that's in their district. They want to hear from the CEO or the board members. They actually want to get grabbed at the coffee shop in the district by somebody that they've known for 10 years, who they may not even know at that moment is part of the credit union industry. But they want that kind of advocacy, because those are the people who elect them. Those are the people who bring them back to office year after year. And that's really where advocacy starts. Sometimes we call it grassroots. I don't know that it's totally grassroots. To me, grassroots is when we go out full scale, bring all of our members in, engage our members in something that's of vital importance to us. But just on day-to-day issues, grabbing your congressman, grabbing your state senator, grabbing your local representative in district, at a coffee shop, at a Little League game, whatever the case may be, and having a conversation about something that's important to our credit union industry, those interactions strike home much more than Paul making a formal appointment and coming in and having a conversation, which we will continue to do, and Paul will continue to do, but it has to be a two-part approach. Well, credit unions suffer from a problem of name recognition, or not so much even name recognition, but connecting the name to what we do. A lot of people don't know what a credit union is. A lot of people don't know what a credit union does. And a lot of people don't know the value that membership in a credit union can bring to them financially. So beginning with just getting out in front of people with something like Better Values, Better Banking, and using the banking word. There are a lot of people in our industry who get upset about using the B word. But what we offer are banking products and services. So let's get over it. That's what we do. And for us to take something and call it Better Values, Better Banking is exactly what we do. So we start by going out towards the general public with a campaign just aimed at name recognition and recognizing what credit unions do and how we do it. We then layer on top of that some social responsibility. Social responsibility is just good business. Let's start there. Helping out people who need to be helped out. All of our states have a different key charity that we work with in our social responsibility, but it's just another way of credit unions becoming part of the neighborhood, becoming part of the business community, becoming part of the at-large community, and again, name recognition and recognition of who we are and what we do. And then that all does tie in to the legislative arena, because when credit unions become active in the community, then the people who we're becoming active with can also become advocates for us, and also the lawmakers see this. When we're at something supporting the homeless, or when we're up in New Hampshire and we're doing something supporting Make-A-Wish, the lawmakers see that. There's just absolutely no question that they do, and it's just one more opportunity for us to tell our story while at the same time helping some people out. You know, I think that the association is about 3 years old as we speak. The marriage of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island is 3 years old. The marriage with Delaware is only a year old. And I look at what we've accomplished over that short of a period of time, and I just kind of take a step back and say, we're doing some really nice things. Paul has done a super job of bringing this organization together. He has a tireless work ethic. He's well known in Washington in both the NCUA circles as well as the legislative circles. CCUA right now is becoming one of the leading credit union associations across the country, and it's fun to be a part of it.